Okay, now we're going to look at the displacement tool, and we've got four possible settings. So I think I like to use the term, what this is doing, I would use the term shift instead of displace. I'll show you what I mean. So anyway, we're going to just displace this number here. You have a choice of 1, 2, 3, or 4. This is just simply how many shifts you're going to get. And this is going to determine, and when it says shift, what that means is it's going to add a certain duration to one note. In this case, it's going to add 1/8 duration to the duration of just one of these notes, and all the other notes after that are going to shift. So that's really important. In the shift, it moves all the other notes over to accommodate that added duration. Let me show you. I'll hit it, and okay, now you noticed a bunch of these notes moved, but the only one that got an increase in its duration is this C3 down here. And you can see that an eighth note was added to the duration of this quarter. So we've got a dotted quarter. And you can see that eighth note, that corresponds to this 1/8. This number here will determine how much more the added duration to a note. And this number here, the once, twice, 3 times, or 4 times, is going to tell us how many times we're going to add this amount, 1/8, to these other notes. So since we've just got one, we just added an 8 to only one note. But it had to shift all the other notes, and which is good, because what it's doing is it's making sure that you don't otherwise you'd have like notes playing simultaneously at the same time, and probably you don't want that in most instances. So you can see that all the other notes after the shift of this C3, they're all remained a quarter note, but they all got shifted over. And of course, the last note, there wasn't enough room, so that's only an eighth note there. But that's just because we ran out of space. Okay, so we have this little tail here. All right, so let's undo that. And this time, I'll just select a quarter, and it's going to pick out, again, we're just going to do one shift. So it's going to pick out one note, add a quarter to its duration, which would mean that one of these notes is going to turn into a half, correct? Because they're quarter notes, so a quarter and a quarter is a half. So one of these notes is going to turn to a half, and then all the other notes after that will just shift over, but they will remain quarter notes. Let's see if I'm right. I hope I am. I'm not getting anything. And I'm wondering if it's not because we don't have any room for the shift. I just kind of have that feeling. Now let's just do 1/16. So if I'm on the right track, one of these notes should have an added 16th note to its duration, and the others just shift over. Let's see. Yeah, that's what happened. This F3, we added a 16th note to its duration, and the rest are still all quarters, but they had to get shifted over an eighth. So you'll see they're all an eighth, I'm sorry, a 16th note off the grid, right? Okay, so that checks out. Let's undo that. And let's do 2. This time we're going to add a 16th note to 2 notes So we're going to get 2 shifts. Let's see how that works. So we'll do twice, and it automatically did it. So it added a 16th to this F3 and shifted. Now where's the other note? Oh, okay, so here it is. It added the 16th to this E, right? You can see that here. So it checks out. It added the 16th to 2 notes, this E3 and the F3. Now if we do 3, we've got the C it added. The C is longer. The E is longer. And I think we ran out of room. So if it runs out of room, it just kind of has nowhere to add more duration. I think that's what's going on. Okay. And let's go back to the beginning and just see what happens if we just click auto. And so what did it do? It added a quarter note to this C3. It added a 8th note to the F, and it added an 8th note to the E. So that just gives you some kind of random shift, which might be what you generally want to play with this thing. And, you know, put it on cycle, play, and then just start hitting the lightning bolt and see when you get something you like. Yeah, I think that this is a particularly musical tool here. I think generally, if you're starting out with a musical phrase, shifting the notes by a little duration is not going to upset that too much. You know, this function, if you've ever played with Dorico, I guess Sibelius and Finale had something similar, but Dorico's, you know, took it to the next level. They have basically an insert mode, and you can change the duration of notes, but they don't have this. If you selected one note, you could increase it. If you hit insert and then select a note, let's say a quarter note, you'd be able to change it to a half, and the other notes would shift. Okay, you can do that in Dorico, but let's face it, this is way easier and way more clear. So I'm liking this tool here. I'm liking it a lot. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video, and we'll cover the last tool in this group, which is Slice. Okay, thanks a lot.